so it's recording, so just tell me who you are.
Okay. Wait, shoot! Alright, I am Al Fox. I am from New York, but I live in Utah now, and I am an LDS blogger and YouTuber and speaker. How I met the missionaries. Well, I was outside and I was helping someone move, and I saw them, come around the corner wearing their suits, riding the bikes with the helmets, and I had no idea who they were, because I had never heard of the church before. And they came up to me and they said, "Hey, do you want to know more about Christ?" And I said, no, right? Because religion, it was kind of, I grew up Catholic, but what was religion going to do for me? I wasn't religious at all. But I felt bad. Because they were just really precious looking. And so I said, if you bring me a steak dinner to eat, I'd listen. And I thought, who would do that? That'll get rid of them, right? And they actually did. They came back that day, and I felt obligated. So that's how it started, was out of obligation and a steak dinner.
Okay, that's a better way of doing missionary work. So.
Yeah, so food, Heavenly Father knew it might be food. Okay, so when they first started teaching me, I didn't want to listen. I didn't care, but I would see them every day because I just loved how I felt around them. But I didn't know why. I didn't know what it was. And so for a few weeks, a couple weeks, I would have them over every day, but I would try so hard to talk about anything except what they wanted to talk about. And one day, we were watching a video called The Restoration DVD, and this is when Christ and Heavenly Father appeared to Joseph Smith, and I remember thinking, this is silly, like this place probably doesn't even exist. And turns out, I was a half hour away from Palmyra, New York, and I had no idea. And so it started when we were in the sacred grove, and my elders, they made me pray, and I'd never prayed before, ever, and I didn't want to. And so they said the prayer, and I had to repeat after them. That was my first time praying because I felt so awkward and because I didn't know how to do it. And they made me ask if the church were true or not, right? Because I was repeating after them. And it was then that I found out God is real. But not only that, but He in reality speaks to us. And it wasn't until I said that prayer asking that I started to care. And that I, started to need to know if it were true or not. The difference it's been, having God in your life is huge. It's huge, especially coming from my background. I often thought people who turned to religion did it because they wanted some sort of comfort if they were having a hard time. And that wasn't my story. That's not my story. I found God when I thought I was happy, when I thought this is as good as life can get. And it's not the case. I have learned and relearned and felt and refelt that only with God, only with His help and His direction and His ways, am I this happiness that I didn't even know existed, like a real physical happiness that you can really feel. And I only feel that if I turn to prayer, if I turn to reading scriptures. And the contrast is huge. It's absolutely huge. And it's made all the difference, not just with my happiness, but I'm able to keep going when things are so hard. I'm able to overcome and conquer things I never thought I would overcome and conquer, things I thought I would be stuck with the rest of my life, things who made me who I was. I'm able to make huge decisions and to feel confident behind them, to feel peace and to know that what I'm doing is right. Because of God, because of being able to speak to Him. So, since joining the church, since feeling and finding this happiness, I didn't know existed, it was actually, I had to go through hard times and trials that I would not have gone through if I didn't get baptized. Since baptism, I'd never felt lonely in my life until I got baptized. I didn't have any problems with my family until I got baptized. And, things were hard. Things were really difficult since joining the church. I can't tell you how many times I found myself on my knees screaming at Heavenly Father saying, I can't do this. I'm not that strong. How many times I felt completely and physically alone. How many times I felt so confused and upset and offended even. But what it comes down to is prayer, really. Honest prayer. Where you can ask Him anything. And our end, a decision. It relies wholly on us, because He doesn't ever leave us. It's usually always on our end. And what's really helped me is, making that decision and being firm in it. To choose who you want to follow, choose to trust, choose to have faith, choose to keep going. And that is when Heavenly Father falls through with His promises, and your faith is strengthened, and blessings and opportunities come. So people who are struggling, having faith, start from the beginning acting like you don't know anything. Start from the basis. I think it's really important. If you have a question, don't turn to the internet. Don't turn to, other people. It's important. If you want to know if God's there, ask Him. Ask Him. If you have a question, ask Him. And just focus on how you feel. Focus on the difference, and don't quit after one prayer. Don't quit, It was weeks that I met with the elders, and I put no, I would listen. And it wasn't until I finally tried, a real try, a consistent try, put it to the test if you may, that I started to overcome and conquer. And to just keep in mind, one, be honest. Turn to the right sources. If you want to know if God's real, turn to Him and not anyone else. And to not give up. Just don't give up, and to just allow that time. Allow yourself to adjust and to listen and to see the difference. What it comes down to is forget not whose hands you're in. To forget not what we are part of, what we have. To forget not that, you have a God. You have a God, and He is yours. Yours to keep. Yours to turn to always. And the power behind that, when you remember that. Because God, how powerful. He has all the power. And if He is for you, if He is yours, you can overcome and conquer everything. And it's so easy to lose sight of that. It's so easy to lose sight, of that love that's real for us. And to lose sight that He will do everything to allow us to return home. That was part of His plan the whole time, is to return to Him. And if we think He's going to do anything to stop that from happening, we're wrong. Hard times will consistently be there, but so will Christ.